barley and the malt. And then you add it and mix it, turn it into a bit of a porridge. Remember that porridge is going to extract the sugars from the grain, making the enzymes to convert to starch. So what I would like to do is to get some of you to give me a hand here. This is a grain mill, just a little mini home brewer one. So we've got our bag of grain.
Nice beer, would you?
Gets a little bit tedious after a while, so you probably get a chance to mix it up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Put it on there. That's it. One keep going. So what we're doing is we're crushing the grain up here, trying to keep the husk as intact as we can, but then like exposing all the inside of the malt.
Connor, it's your new job. Connor, make sure you don't drill like actually through it.
What was that? All of it. We're going to do all of it. So this is going to be enough to make about 50 litres of beer.
Bring you in the middle of the club. And then yourself.
Being really tricky to stop all like this,
It's hard on the stage. It's a lot of things. You get like sour things.
Now we have to make the mash.
What are you doing?
We're going to make the mash. The mash is when you add water to this.
Oh, can you show us?
How much water?
And then what are you going to do with this?
So we're going to mix it all in this pot here.
Hi, Mustard. Hi, Carlos. Hiya.
We're actually going to run hot water from this cylinder here. Now there's a false bottom in the bottom of this. Tell you what, we have a look in this tank. If you can, have a little look in this one. I'll bring it over to you. You see how there's a false bottom on there?
No, I can't see.
Yeah, my dad,
So what's going to happen?
My dad,
He used the same thing.
yeah, he drinks, he just drinks a little bit.
That's good. It's a very good idea. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to get drunk.
No. So what we're going to do is
Could you get a shot of like all this in that site?
So what we're going to do is we're going to make a porridge with this crushed malt and the water that's now running through in there. And you can see that false bottom. What we're doing at the moment is we're just covering that false bottom in here with water so that the grain doesn't get too stuck on that false bottom.
That's good, that's good.
And then what we're going to start doing now is we're going to start tipping this into the water and we'll mix it up. You make a porridge. That porridge has to be just the right temperature because what you're going to do is we're going to wake up their enzymes. There are enzymes sitting, waiting in this crushed grain. When they get wet at the right temperature, what they start doing is they start breaking down that starch into sugar. That's what we're going to do now. Put this out. I'm just going to put this up here and use it as a stand.
If you want to put a couple in and give someone else a go, put one more in as well.
Do you want to go?
Not too full, Elizabeth.
Not too full. Not too full.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cheers, Elizabeth. For someone else. How to? Yeah. Guys, everyone listening up? Cheers. Okay, so you've all tasted the wort. How did it taste? Sweet, cool. Very, very sweet.
Just like
So,
Weet-Bix.
tastes a bit like Weet-Bix. What has the what's happened to all the starch that was in the barley? It's been extracted. Cool. What's worked on it? What's it converted the starch into?
The enzyme has turned it into sugar.
Very good. The enzymes turn it into sugar. So, what needs that sugar? What uses the sugar and converts it into alcohol?
Yeast.
Yes, cool. So over at the back here, we've got a few little experiments set up, or demos that you can have a look at. First thing we look at is doing a starch test on.
I love your shoes.
So in here is some of the ground up barley from the start. So this hasn't been into the mash tun. And if we tested this with iodine, what do you think would happen?
It'll go black.
It would go blue back because what? There'll be starch in it. Very good. Cool. And then we've also taken off some of the wort that you just drank. Wort. And if you starch tested the wort, there'd be no starch in it, you reckon? Cool. So let's have a look.
It might be like 0.9.
So what we're doing here is basically just recreating the mash that we made this morning. Bang! Look at that.
Come on around, you can have a look.
You see?
Nice work.
See? Black.
It's gone purple.
There's a purpley black.
Is that correct?
Some of the stuff is actually proteins that have come out of suspension and clumped together because it's hot. We call that hot break. And that's part of the reason why we boil wort, so that all of this protein clumps out now and drops out in the kettle, so it's not in the finished beer product. So if I put this, there you go, there's a letter around. Who's got starch?
So can I do that? See how it turns. That's all it's
Yep, here you try as well.
Yay.
Maybe it was
There
just
you
Claudia's
go.
one.
I'll do it on this one.
See?
There is no
And no black, which is awesome, because if it was black, that would totally destroy this lesson, and the beer would be awful.
yeah.
Thank God for that, eh?
Proven nothing.
So yeah, so what we're doing now is once we've finished running this off, you all tried this liquid. It's like really super sweet, and if we fermented it, you could ferment it just like this. It doesn't need any more, but it would just be really icky sweet beer at the end. So we're going to add some hops to it, and the hops will add bitterness and some nice flavour as well. Awesome. There's also a microscope over here. So if you guys want to come up and have a little look, what I've done is it's disappeared. Now it's not a super strong microscope, but when you look in here, you'll see lots and lots of little yeast cells. And if you look really hard, some of them will be like a yeast cell, but there'll be a really little yeast cell right beside it, almost attached. And that's them having new yeast cells.
Is this an
I mean,
accent
the
too?
babies. The blue ones aren't happy, they're sad yeast cells. So I stained it with some methylene blue, and the cells that aren't happy take the stain on, so you can see which one's viable.